I'm George Ratiu, Manager of Economic Research with Realtor.com. It's the middle of April and spring is in full bloom. As we welcome gatherings, conferences, and vacations, we are discovering a new economic and real estate landscape. A big shift for most of us comes from the sharp increase in prices. The CPI data for March showed inflation accelerating at a pace not seen since 1981. Bigger bills for clothing, groceries, and services are adding to financial pressures, especially as companies insist on pushing workers back into crowded commutes and office buildings, leading Americans to take a hard look at what's left of their paychecks. Strong inflation received an additional boost from wholesale prices, which advanced at the fastest rate on record, prompting companies to pass costs onto consumers. Even Amazon signaled a shift by announcing it will add a fuel surcharge to deliveries later this month. Retail sales notched a slight gain as consumers bought more necessities and pulled back on cars and online purchases. Prices are not only on consumers' minds, they are also the chief worry for small business owners. The NFIB Optimism Index fell to the lowest level in a year. Supply chain constraints and labor shortages are forcing companies to pass cost increases to consumers, further fueling the upward inflationary spiral. Speaking of labor shortages, jobless claims saw a bump up last week, but they remain near a 54-year low as companies struggle to find enough applicants for the number of open jobs. Expectations of solid employment filtered into April's Consumer Sentiment Index, which saw an unexpected rebound, even though it remains below levels from the past decade. How are these factors impacting real estate markets? Mortgage rates are clearly responding to inflationary pressures. Freddie Mac's rate for a 30-year loan hit 5% this week, a level not seen since 2011 when markets were still working through the aftermath of the housing bust. Buyers are looking at mortgage payments which are 44% higher than a year ago, and many borrowers are being left out of the market. Inflation is putting pressure on rents, which have seen 8 consecutive months of double-digit gains. With demand for housing strong, landlords are making up for pandemic constraints. There is some good news for the spring housing market, however. Realtor.com's weekly data show growth in the number of homeowners listing their properties for sale and a moderation in price momentum. More inventory is the missing component in today's markets, and the improvements on this front will go a long way toward restoring balance and providing a more sustainable path forward. Enjoy the sunnier days and warmer weather, and we'll keep you in the know with new updates.